DaJobniks. I know. You felt it. The silence. The absence. DaJobnik was off the grid. Not gone. Not finished. Just preparing. And now, I'm back. Back in action. Back with stories that matter. Back with content that cuts through noise and lies. So we start with a question history almost never asks. Who was he? Before Israel had borders, before it had an army, before it even had a state, there was one man who dared to imagine it. A journalist, a writer, a Jew who understood the danger ahead when the world still pretended not to see it. His name was Theodor Herzl. This is not a legend. This is not mythology. This is the story of the man who turned an idea into the foundation of a nation. Jobniks, welcome to Who Was I?
My name is Theodor Herzl. Many people know the image, the beard, the dreamy gaze from the balcony in Basel. But today, I'm not telling you about the image. I'm telling you about the man behind it. This is my story. The story of a man who dared to say to the world, if you will it, it is no dream. I was born in the year 1860 in the city of Budapest. I grew up in a Jewish, enlightened home, a home that believed in European culture, yet never forgot its roots. I was a child who loved words. In time, I became a writer, a journalist, a playwright. I never imagined that I would become a national leader, certainly not someone who would shape the direction of the future of the Jewish people. But life led me there. As a journalist in Vienna, I was sent to cover what first appeared to be an ordinary event, the trial of a Jewish officer in France. But when I arrived, I saw before my eyes the true face of Europe. An enraged crowd shouting through the streets of enlightened Paris, "Death to the Jews!" And in that moment, I understood. No matter how much we become part of European society, no matter how much we succeed, how deeply we assimilate, anti-Semitism will not disappear. Not for me, not for my children, and not for my people. There, at the Dreyfus trial, the spark was born within me. We must have a state of our own, a home, a future, security. In the year 1896, I sat down and wrote, almost without stopping, the book, The Jewish State. It was not a book, it was a cry. A call to an entire people, rise, wake up. The Jewish people deserve a home. 1 year later, in 1897, I convened the first Zionist Congress in Basel. It was a historic moment, and after everyone had left, that very night, I wrote in my diary, "In Basel, I founded the Jewish state." I knew the world might laugh, but I also knew this. Perhaps in 5 years, perhaps in 50, the world would recognize it. And 50 years later, almost to the day, the State of Israel was established. The vision became reality. I devoted my life to one journey, to bring my people home. I traveled from kingdoms to governments, kings, emperors, ministers, trying to open every door. I persuaded, I spoke, I pleaded, and at times I even argued. But never, never did I stop believing. It was not easy. There were debates, opposition, deep exhaustion, and the cost to my health was heavy. And in the year 1904, at only 44 years of age, my body could no longer endure the journey. But my heart remained faithful until the final moment. Before my death, I said, "I have already begun the journey. You must continue it." And the people continued. An entire generation of pioneers, of fighters, of immigrants turned the dream into a living, breathing, proud Jewish reality. And today, as you live in a free Jewish state, know this. Yes, even you watching me right now, none of this was ever guaranteed. I dreamed, but you made it real. This is my story. The dream, the struggle, and the victory that continued even after my life. And I leave you with just one message. To the generation that continues to write the history of the Jewish people: if you will it, it is no dream.
He didn't command armies. He didn't conquer land. He did something far more dangerous. He convinced a broken people to believe again. Belief became movement. Movement became destiny. That is how history is written. DaJobniks, this series is not about statues. It's about people who stood alone before the world understood them. More stories are coming, more figures, more moments that shaped who we are. This is Who Was I?